Get ready. It's time for the Idaho Podcast with your host, Danny Ventura. Well, hello and welcome to the Idaho Podcast, where we feature the people who live, work, and play in the state of Idaho. So glad you're with us today. We have our guest today, Andrew Funkhauser, who is a resident here and also a native of Idaho, and also happens to be one of my neighbors. And Andrew, thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course, this is fun.
Awesome. So you are an Idaho native, which is pretty unusual in this state.
Anymore, yeah. Yeah.
Tell us what it's been like growing up and being raised here in Idaho.
It's obviously an experience. I've been here 40 years. I was born in Boise, but moved into Star when I was very young. And so I've been in this area my entire life. Okay. Between here, Nampa, and Eagle, primarily for 40 years. And a lot of growth between, 40 years.
For sure. I think I read a note recently where the population has doubled in the last 5 to 10 years.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
It's been a huge ingrowth, definitely.
Right. Have you? I know you were born in Boise, but you've essentially been Star and Eagle.
Yes.
What is it about this area, Star and Eagle, specifically of Idaho?
Originally when we moved out here, it was just very rural. And so everything was farm. There wasn't urban development at all. There's nothing here. It was just farm ground, farmers, ranchers, and that's what we were. We were farmers, ranchers, and that's what brought us out here. It was wide open country, and there was lots of room. Mm-hmm. And that's what brought us out here. And we were here my parents are still out where I grew up. Okay. Still just not the other side of Star. But yeah, it was a good place to ranch and farm. Good ground in most places, and now it's just kind of transitioned into development.
Mm-hmm. What type of farming did you do?
We were a working ranch, and so alfalfa, grains, stuff like that, just basically to feed cows. Right. And so whatever the cows needed, that's what we farmed.
So Idaho just isn't 100% potatoes like people think.
No. Most of Idaho potatoes come from Oregon, I'm pretty sure. So, but yeah. There's lots of different things.
Right. Well, being born and raised here, have you ever? Because you grew up here, you went to school here, all your mm-hmm. friends, But have you ever considered moving anywhere else?
We've traveled a lot. Me and my wife have traveled a lot. She's Bosnian, so we've gone back to Europe a few times. Love it. Love the country she's from. As far as through the States, I've worked through the Midwest quite a bit when I was in my 18, 19-year-old. But Idaho's great. Idaho's really good. There's pretty places that I've been, but I love Idaho. Mm-hmm. Love Idaho. 4 solid seasons, an hour to anywhere. Like desert's an hour away, mountains hour away. I love it. I think maybe I'm spoiled with it because I'm very used to it, but I love it. It's fantastic.
Right. And so we talked a little bit about the population growth and so many changes you've seen, especially as a native. How does that make you feel? Because I know some Idahoans who have lived here their whole lives, they can get a little bitter about, they're
moving in.
They feel like their state's changing, right?
Yeah.
But conversely, my wife and I, moved here just over a year ago from California. And I can tell you, and I was born and raised in California, but California isn't even the same state it was 20 years ago either. So you get this transition almost in every state.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But anyway, how has that impacted you?
I own a small business, and so I love it. Personally, I love it. The growth is good for me. Mm-hmm. It allows us to expand with it, and we like that portion of it. It's busier. We're used to open Idaho roads to where you're driving and there's not really much traffic after the rush hour, and now it's traffic all day. Little things like that are an annoyance just because it comes with growth. Mm-hmm. but I don't really have a downside to any of it. I love it. Mm-hmm. I like seeing everybody come in. I like seeing certain areas that get developed, and so there's some positive, a lot of positive too. Right. A lot of positive too.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear from a native. For
sure. I try not to throw rocks at Alice State license plates and stuff like that. And so it's great. It's great. I don't really have any qualms about it at all. It's nice, and Idaho's been small for a long time. Still is. It's small. It's a small populated state, but but having just new people come in, I love it. It's a great experience, I think, for everybody, really.
Right. And I would say through research I've done, as well as a lot of people I've spoken to, I don't get the sense, and again, there's always going to be on both sides, but I get the sense of the majority of the people moving here, like myself, we were leaving something,
right,
and trying to go to something. The last thing I want to do is I came to this. I want to do what I can to even help it make it better.
Well, that's what I hear a lot with my company. We hear it a lot. A lot of people moving up here for a reason, you know, and they're here to just, I don't know, really experience Idaho. You know, you don't really understand Idaho until you get here. They're just like, oh, that is a mountain 1 hour away, you know, and you don't have, and there's 8,000 people on the ski hill instead of 40,000 people in 5 hour lift lines. You know, like, you're just like, oh, it is like just like the picture. Like, it's just like that. You know, so it's you know, I understand that for sure.
Yeah, we felt that way, and there's just a quality of life difference here that frankly I would never want to change.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, and it draws people. It really does. It's a beautiful place. You know, the 4 days of winter that we really get with snow, it's fun. And then it goes away, and then you're in this wet spring for 5 months. But besides that, you know, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, but I like seeing all the people come. I definitely do. Definitely do.
That's good. And we talked a little bit about that. You know, it's been good for you because you do have a business here, and your business is called Cornerstone Custom Cabinets.
That's correct. Yeah.
I know you've been in the cabinet business for over 20 years, and so tell the listeners a little bit about your cabinet business and what you specialize in.
It's Cornerstone Custom Cabinets. We're a top ground up custom cabinet shop. So we build and manufacture all the aspects of the cabinet process: doors, casework, banding, shelves, custom woodworking. We do it all in our company. So we don't like to source anything to other companies for the most part. You know, there's a few things you kind of like drawer guides and hinges and stuff like that. But anything that we can creatively build in our shop, that's what we like to do. And there's definitely a niche for it here. You know, there's lots of wealthy people. You know, they're moving. They like to come here for their cabins, their resorts, you know, their lake houses, and it comes with a very particular style. And so if we are able to cater to that style more, then that just gives us that perfect niche of we're always busy. We're very fortunate that way. We're always busy. We always have options to expand in new little areas, and that's what's like the key to our growth for the past 6-7 years, just been able to adapt and evolve with who's coming in and cater to the needs that are coming in now also, and also keep up with production and growth and expansions and everything else. But just the normal struggles of a small business too, like get bigger or quit type of thing. And I can't quit. So. No.
You're too young.
Too young, yeah. No. I don't want to be good at golf yet. Like, there's no reason. No.
So I know you do all types of cabinetry, you know, kitchen, bath, custom cabinets itself, you know, and shelving units, that kind of thing. Is there a particular niche that you specialize in, or not necessarily?
No, we have some of our builders build 20, 30, 40 homes a year, and they're just model homes, you know, so they're custom spec is kind of what we classify them as, because some of them have homeowners involved, some of them don't, but they're pretty basic floor plans, so there's nothing really customized about them, but there's a higher quality product, all the way through to huge custom homes that cater to anything as far as the cabinet needs goes is accomplished. And so it could be mantle work, custom hoods. We do, you know, any species of wood for dovetail drawers. There's a huge variety of options when it comes to cabinetry and accessories for that product. So yeah, we don't say no to anything. You know, we started a closet module, and so we build custom closets now. We've done all the custom homes. That's pretty much where we're stopping now. But we've just been growing in those fields for a while now.
But you'll also do one-off. You'll do work for a personal residence.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
it doesn't just have to be custom or tract homes or custom homes.
No, it doesn't have to have a builder associated with it at all. Okay. You know, we have quite a few houses that I don't know the percentage of how many projects we do like this, but you know, once somebody moves in, you know, they want a bar or they want an accessorized room or something like that, or a butler's pantry, anything like that, we can always come in and take care of that. No problem. Yeah.
Right. And if our listeners are interested in having you do some work for them, how would they best contact you?
Email is probably the easiest. That's most diverse. Definitely Andrew at cornerstonecustomcabinets.com. I'm on Facebook, just Cornerstone Custom Cabinets. Instagram for all the pictures. You have to be on that.
Sure.
Have to be it, and that's just at Cornerstone Custom Cabinets.
All right.
Pretty easy to find me. Easy to find me. One day I'll be professional enough to get a website, and that'll make it even easier. But we're working on that.
Yeah, I get it. Baby steps, right?
Yeah. Not too much.
Only
Not
20 years of baby steps.
Yeah, exactly. We're almost there.
Well, I've taken a look at some of your jobs and your pictures and photos you have on both Facebook and as well as stuff that you've shared, even just through emails and so forth.
Sure, yeah.
Boy, really, really impressive.
Appreciate that. Yeah. We definitely try to put a lot of pride into our product as well.
Yeah.
It's always a growing process. Not always painless, but it's our process and we like it. So
right.
we enjoy that.
Well, we're all about helping locals and the people of Idaho continue their success. So again, if you're interested in any kind of cabinet work or that type of thing, please reach out to Andrew. Again, it's Andrew at cornerstonecustomcabinets.com, or you can check him out on Facebook at Cornerstone Custom Cabinets. So that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what is it? We talked a little bit of, again, because you're a native and so forth. What is it about Idaho, or maybe there's a few things that for our listeners or folks who might be considering relocating here or thinking, hearing what you're saying, I really want a piece of that. What is it that you would share with others about Idaho?
Idaho, sportsmen, there's hunting, fishing, rec areas everywhere. There's mountains and trails everywhere, lots of lakes, lots of streams. So for an outdoorsman, it's ideal. It's a wonderful place. But it's also, our population is Treasure Valley, and then everything else is primarily mountains, trails. There's cities and towns everywhere, but there's just so much open area in Idaho. It's beautiful, and it's fun to explore it. I've been here 40 years. I haven't touched it. There's a lot that I've been through. I haven't touched all of it. And it's not an everyday thing for me, but it's also there's a lot out there to explore. So the outdoorsman, it's a paradise for us. And population's not huge. There's not that many people here, and so you can come and especially if you're bringing your kids up, they get to explore, they get to have fun. We've through here when we were farming and everything, I'd be on a 4-wheeler from Middleton to Eagle at 12, and it didn't matter. There's a couple mean dogs along the way, but there's lots of area to explore, and to an extent you can still do that. There's lots of open areas. There's not huge urban spots that are just like frightening, for lack of a better word. If you hear kids playing outside, no, it's fine, and there's not an issue there. So that's I know that's been a big push for a lot of people where it just feels safe, and then the kids get to explore, and families get to enjoy everything around you.
Mm-hmm. I know when Kathy and I decided we're looking at Idaho to whether or not we were going to move here or not. We were a little concerned, frankly, to see, well, is it so rural that that we're not going to, you have to go miles of dirt road, and it's not like that at all. I mean, sure, you can go areas.
Yeah, just one gas station town still.
Right. But for the most part, I mean, there are things on almost every corner, and I mean, I certainly wouldn't call it super metropolitan, but we have great restaurants and all the major stores that you'd want, the box stores, Costco's and Home Depots and Lowe's and all the. I mean, it's pretty accessible and relatively close. It's not it's not really inconvenient. Right?
Yeah, 30 minutes you're across town. It's simple.
Really the best of all worlds, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's great. It's a good spot. Good spot, definitely.
Right. So tell us, if you would, a little bit about your family and
been with my wife 18 years. We have 2 kids, 7 and 10, Max and Stella. They're crazy kids. They run around the neighborhood with the pack, and they just have a great time. Lots of fun people around here that they like to hang out with. My wife is Bosnian. And so we've been able to take the kids twice back to Bosnia, a couple years in between each time, but that allows them to experience that culture and really see the world a little bit more. And that's really fortunate. She employed full time,
Mhm.
and so she's always busy. I don't know. She's always busy.
Right.
No slow down for her until she's done for the day type of thing. But yeah, that's them. You know, they're getting into sports, soccer. They like soccer. Max is definitely a gamer. He got a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, so now that's his whole life. You know, he wants it to be his whole life. We don't allow it, but he would like to be professional at stuff, and so
That's too funny.
Yeah. They're just that's the family. We just kind of we work and live, and off we go.
Right. And how have you been generally satisfied with the schools here for the kids and so forth?
Yeah. Before we moved to Eagle, we lived in South Nampa, and so it was a little bit more. The schools over there are busier. You know, it's higher student-teacher ratio type of thing. But down here, once we moved over here and got them into Galileo, it's a great school. It's a good STEM academy, and the kids love it. You know, the teachers really pay attention to the needs of each student, and that's important for us because we both work, so it's hard to be able to teach kids anything because I have no idea how they're learning anything. But those teachers really do a great job over there to make sure, you know, the principal knows knows all of them, but he knows the students, he knows the staff, he knows the parents, you know, everybody's friendly. It's a nice place there. And so I've liked it. I've liked as far as academics go, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And you yourself went to school here, elementary, junior high, high school, so forth. I'm sure you've seen some changes in that as well, but overall you've seen pretty good consistency as far as the quality.
Yes, yeah. You know, more people come in, more taxes happen, better schools get built, and they've been constantly building schools for 20 years. You know, and it seems like the sports are getting a little bit more recognition. You know, on a national scale. You know, I know there's quite a few students just in the valley here that are really good athletes that are good prospects for across the country. And so I like seeing that where, you know, we're getting recognition in sports. We have the people to play the sports. You know, the kids are playing the sports. They have the coaches and the systems to actually get up into the higher echelon of just high school sports, into college, everything else. It's good.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, I really appreciate you sharing so much about your life, and especially, again, just the uniqueness of being a native here, and the fact that you probably wouldn't move anywhere else, even though your wife is from Bosnia and probably has family there. And I'm sure that probably tugs at her heartstrings at times, but it's just so great to hear that you're so settled here, and this is where you call home.
Yeah, it's home. Yeah, we love it here. It's great.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best on your cabinet business.
Yeah,
Cornerstone Custom Cabinets.
Thank you.
And again, Andrew, thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course, it's a pleasure. It's really fun.
Absolutely. Well, and thank you for joining us today. And this is Danny Ventura saying, make it a great day. We'll see you next time.